Greetings, fellow YouTubers, and welcome back to Earache My Eye. My name is Frederick. It has been a while since I have done a vinyl update, and today I got quite a few vinyl. I've got a book, 2 zines, a tape, and a CD to show. So let's start off with first the tape, and the first tape is a black and speed metal band out of France, and the band is called Malheur, and it's self-titled, and this was released through ZINE Victims Records. That's the tape on a black shell. So it's got 4 tracks. One of the tracks is a cover version of City of Damnation by Razor. So yeah, this is just fast, blackened speed metal out of France. Okay, next up I have one CD, and that is a band out of Perth, and this is their sophomore album, and it's a band called Cold Fate and Return to Reality. So this album has taken 12 years since their debut, and this is melodic thrash metal out of Perth, Western Australia. So that's the front, and it was signed by all the band members. Track listing, band photo, and the CD. Yeah, so yeah, this is, like I said, over 12 years since their debut. So they're back with their sophomore album, Cold Fate, Return to Reality. Okay, now we get on to some zines. And the first zine is from a fellow YouTuber who you may know, called Natog, who has a channel here on YouTube. And this is his zine, and it's Shrieks from the Abyss. And this is the 4th volume. So this is the front, the back, and the photo. And this is a collection of interviews with all the bands on the front there. So it's a 62-page zine. So that's lyrics. And this is a really good zine out of the UK by Natog. So do check it out if you haven't seen this zine before. Yep, Shrieks from the Abyss, the heavy metal version. There is a book which has the first 3 volumes, which I need to get. Okay, the next zine is out of Germany, and this is issue 8, and that is Witchcraft. Der Dotsking, Killed by Death. And this is just a zine filled with interviews, reviews, photos, flyers, and has a massive zine listing. So yeah, this is a great zine, and this is a volume 8. And the first volume of this was released back in 1993, and this was released in 2023. So the last volume of this was 2015. So it has taken 8 years to get this zine out. So it's a really good zine, Witchcraft. Okay, and finally I have a book. This book is called Analog of Terror, and this is volume 2. And this was released through Nuclear War Now. And this is a book that deals with black metal demo tapes. It's a really thick book. So like I said, it's volume 2. I have volume 1. And if I can show you some of the stuff in there. So you get like, this is the Marduk book, and it has all the demos from all the black metals from 1980 to 2000. It's a really, really good, thick, hefty book. So check it out if you haven't, if you like books. Now I have all these vinyls to show you. So first I've got some 2 OG vinyls. Okay, and the first one is a band called Mox Nix, and this is a Texan 4-piece power metal band. This was released 1985 on Axe Killer Records. So yeah, this has been on my watch list, and it's a growl for me. So there you go. So Texan 4-piece, Mox Nix, self-titled album. Okay, the next OG release is a band called Wench, and this is a tidy sized chunk, all-female power thrash metal band, and this was released in 1991 on Metalcore Records. And this is in the vein of, if you like band Mean Streak, check out Wench, a tidy sized chunk. And sadly, this young lady up here did pass away. And this was a one and done album, same as the Mox Nix. Okay, the next record is a band out of Poland, and the band is called Acid Drinkers, and this is Are You a Rebel? And this is their debut album. And I need to slowly start getting their other releases. This was released on Metal Mind Productions 2016. So yeah, I like the cover art, really cool, cartoony. So this is a crossover thrash, as I said, out of Poland. So Acid Drinkers. Okay, next we have a band out of the UK, and they are a, how would you say, heavy metal / speed metal band, and that band is Tail Gunner, and this is their debut album, Guns for Hire. So if you like bands like Judas Priest meets Iron Maiden, this is what you get, Tail Gunner. As I said, they are from out of the UK, and this was released on Fire Flash Records 2023. And this just came out on a clear vinyl and custom logos. So really good speed heavy metal band out of the UK. And this could possibly be my favourite album of 2023. So yeah. Next we have a band out of Chile, and this is their debut album, and the band is called Shadows, and this is the album called Out for Blood. And if you can tell by the cover, it kind of reminds you of King Diamond. Well, it does have that influence. There's also a bit of Dio, Ghost, but in a heavier form. And this was released through Sentiment Ruin Records 2023. And this came out on a purple vinyl, I think. No, black vinyl. And that's the insert. That's the band in the front there. Lyrics, band shot, and more members of the band there. Yeah, so if you like King Diamond meets Ghost, but in the more heavier range, then check out Shadows, Out for Blood on Sentiment Ruin Records. Okay, next we go to Brazil with this record, and this record has taken 10 years to be recorded, and it's the fourth album by Brazilian thrashers Farscape, and this was released through ZINE Victims Records 2023. And the hype seeker says, after 10 years, the Brazilian long-time thrashers are finally back with their fourth release. I really love that cover art too. It's the gatefold. Came out on orange vinyl, if you can see there. Lyrics. And with all ZINE Victims releases, you get the poster, postcard, sticker, and this has the patch as well. So check out Farscape if you love your Brazilian thrash. Next up, we have some UK/Berlin based thrashers, and this is their second release. That band is Dungeon, released through ZINE Victims Records 2023. Same as the Farscape, you get all the bits and bots. So yeah, this is a 5-track mini LP. So Dungeon, and the album's called Into the Ruins. Love that cover art too. Okay, next we go back to Poland with this debut album, and this is a band called Fucking Vengeance, and this is their debut album called Sewer Surge, and this is just speed metal. It says here, debut album by this Polish heavy speed powerhouse, raw, energetic, and glorious. So yeah, it's some great heavy speed metal. So do check it out if you love your speed metal. Okay, now we go to the good old USA with this band, and it's a band called High Command, and this is their Escape of the Dual Moons. And this is a concept album, and I would say it's a bit black and thrash. And this was released through Southern Lord Records 2022. So yeah, some good old blackened thrash metal from the USA. Now we head off to Sweden with some black metal, and this is their debut album, which has been reissued onto vinyl. Originally it came out on War Records, or Wrong Again Records, and that band is Nagelfar with their album Vitra. This comes out on a blue vinyl. So yeah, some great Swedish black metal. Yeah, blue wax. Blue wax. So, and also comes with an insert. Liner notes, lyrics, band photos. Yeah, so this is just in a vein of, I say, dissection. So if you like that sort of style of black metal, do check out Vitra by Nagelfar. Came out on Central Media 2023. So it's a reissue. Next up is another album that's I picked up. I do have an OG copy, but this is the album by Anthrax, Fistful of Metal. This is the Megaforce Records version, 1992 reissue. Yep, we all know this album. It's a great album. There's a lot, also great songs on here, but there's one song that a lot of people kind of dismiss, and that's the Alice Cooper cover, I'm 18. It's not a bad song, but I wouldn't have put it on side 1 as a third track. I would have probably put it on side 2 as a track 5, or even get rid of it and put a OG original song in there and use that as a bonus track on a 12-inch. but it is what it is. But Anthrax, Fistful of Metal, classic album. Okay, we go back again to the USA. This is their second release, and we have Power Trip with Manifest Decimation. So everybody knows this album, released through Southern Lord Records 2013. And if you don't know Power Trip, they are a crossover thrash metal band. Riley Gale, the vocalist, did pass away, may he rest in peace. But yeah, this is some great thrash metal crossover stuff you need to get into. Okay, now we're sticking with the USA, and this is their debut album. It's a band that came out in 1971, and they are a hard psychedelic proto-prog band, and the band is called Salem, Mass, and this is their Witch Burning LP. So it's this 7 tracks of satanic occult overtones, ripping guitar, brutal moog attacks. So yeah, Salem, Mass, Witch Burning. And this came out on Gerson Records. That's how you pronounce it. That's the back. Band shot, song titles. So yeah, it's just great prog, hard rock, great stuff. Okay, now we fly over to Sweden with their brand new release, and we have Enforcer with Nostalgia. And this is gold vinyl. It includes a poster of the cover art. Yep, just Enforcer being Enforcer, playing heavy metal / speed metal. 13 tracks. So yeah, I like this album a lot. Some people sort of are up and down on it, but I think it's a good album from Enforcer. Next up, I picked up the vinyl version of this band, and that's Apollo Ra, released through High Roller Records, 2023, just black vinyl. And this is an album called Ra Pariah. So a single disc with their first album. The CD has 2 albums, so yep, I wanted to pick up this album on vinyl. So Ra Pariah are in a vein of Queensryche, Crimson Glory, that sort of style of power metal. So do check out Apollo Ra Pariah. Okay, now we fly over to the UK, and I picked up this album, and it's the 3rd album by this British thrash metal band, and that is Virus and Lunacy. This group was released on Back on Black 2021, but this originally came out in 1989. So 8 tracks of just pure thrash metal out of the UK, track listing, band shop. Okay, now we fly over to Chile again. We have the debut album from this Chilean thrash metal band, and that is Critical Defiance, and the album is called Misconception. So this was originally came out in 2018, and this is their debut album, released through Dying Victims 2023. So yeah, the hype sticker says technical, yeah, savage thrash metal from Chile, their debut album now on vinyl. So do check out if you love your Chilean thrash. Okay, now we go to Sweden with some blackened speed metal, and this is their debut album, and that is Atonement, and the album is called Sadistic Invaders, released through Dying Victims Records 2023. So yeah, just 10 tracks of fast, brutal, blackened speed metal. Okay, next we come up to Norway. This is their third release, and the band is called Flight, and the album is called Echoes of Journeys Past. And this hub sticker says, heavy rock from Norway, third album, an impressive lesson in musicianship and songwriting. So yeah, I need to check out the first two Flight albums. This was released through Dying Victims Records, again, 2023. So just heavy rock, metal, great stuff. Flight, Journeys to Past. Echoes of Journeys Past. Okay, now we go to Germany with the sophomore album, and that band is Knife, and this is their Heaven into Dust album, and this is the Dying Victims vinyl edition, which is yellow and red marbled, but they have signed to Napalm Records, so this is a split release from those two labels, and this came out on 2023. So I love that cover too. Kind of looks like Hobbs Angel of Death meets King Diamond. Yep, so great stuff. Knife, Heaven into Dust. Okay, next up we go back to the UK, and this album just arrived a few minutes ago, and I'm finally glad to have it in my collection now, because I did order this from my local record store, but it never came in, so I went onto eBay and ordered it off there. And that album is the debut album by Eccentrics, Shattered Existence. This is red vinyl, and I got number 73, so quite low. I'm finally glad to have this album in my collection after so long waiting for my record store, which never came in. So now I have it in my hands, and I'm very happy to have it. So just thrash metal, pure and simple. I also picked this up today. It's the second album from this band, and that is KK's Priest, with the album The Sinner Rides Again. Now, we all know this album. A lot of people have talked about it. Is it their best album? Yes, it is a good album. I like the first album, but this album steps it up one step. And yes, there is a bash on Judas Priest with some of the song titles, but yeah, it is KK. You know, he's sticking it to Judas Priest, which I don't think is a good thing, but it is what it is. So yeah, Return of the Sinner, great album, or The Sinner Rides Again by KK Priest. Okay, now we get into some death metal, some Swedish death metal. And this is the debut album, which has been reissued. And that album is Hypocrisies, Penetralia. And this came out on, what did I say, transparent green. Well, a slimy green, which doesn't match the cover at all, but it is what it is. So I used to have this on CD back in the day, but now I've finally got it on LP. And yeah, this is Swedish death metal. I would say in the vein of even blackened death metal, because some of the song titles are almost in the sort of black metal type of vein. Like you got Burned by the Cross, Taken the Throne, God Is A, Jesus Fall. So yeah, this is sort of black and death metal, but yeah, it's a great album. Love the cover art. Dan Seagrave, awesome album. Glad to have it in my collection. Next up, we have some just heavy metal, plain heavy metal. With this is his debut album, and we have Rhett Forrester with Gone with the Wind, and this was released through High Roller Records, 2023. This originally came out. Doesn't say when it originally. I think it ran a bit in the late 80s. So, yep. 9 tracks of heavy metal. And sadly, Rhett Forrester did pass away due to an incident of a carjacking. So this was his first album. I do have his second album. So yeah, Rhett Forrester's Gone with the Wind. I got this today as well, so I haven't listened to it yet, but I know what to expect. Okay, next up we got some more US metal, and this one is power metal, and this is the latest album by Virgin Steel, The Passion of Dionysus. This is a double album, and this is also a concept album. Track listing. So you got 10 tracks. You got 2 tracks which are split into 3 parts, and one is into 4 parts. So a little story. So yeah, Virgin Steel, The Passion of Dionysus. And all the tracks are pretty long, ranging from 7, 9 minutes, 5 minutes, 12 minutes, 8 minutes. So yeah, very long songs. Virgin Steel. And this was released through Steamhammer SPV for 2023. So Virgin Steel. Great to have this album in my collection. Next up, we have a reissue, and this is the second album by this American thrash band, and that is Demolition Hammer with Epidemic of Violence. And this is a 9-track thrash metal on transparent sun yellow vinyl. So we all know this album, and I'm glad to have this on vinyl again. You know, check it out if you haven't. Okay, next up we have another reissue, and it's a power metal band out of Florida, USA. And I'm glad to have this reissue, and that is Sabotage, Hall of the Mountain King. This is the gold LP with the 7-inch single. Don't need to tell you about this album. We all know it. We all love it. I think it's one of Sabotage's best albums. So great colours, great artwork. Glad to finally have picked this up. And I also have the second album by Sabotage, and that is The Dungeons Are Calling. It's the follow-up to Sirens. This is, doesn't say what colour. I think it's probably just black vinyl. But again, a great album. Another one of my favourites. You all know it. So Sabotage, The Dungeons Are Calling. And the final 2 are by the same band also. I also picked up Sacred Reich, The American Way, released through Metal Blade Records in 2021. and this originally came out in 1990. I have the OG CD, and I've always wanted it on vinyl. I'm finally glad I've got it on vinyl. So yeah, just on black wax. It's been shown before, but it's in my hands now, so I'm finally happy to have it. And the final album is also from Sacred Reich, and it's their mini album, and that is Surf Nicaragua, released through Metal Blade Records. This is the 21 reissue, but this originally came out in 1988. So definitely check it out. I think it originally was a 4-song mini LP, but this has 2 live tracks on it. And yeah, a lot of people say this is a great mini album, and I definitely agree with it. So Surf Nicaragua, Sacred Reich. Okay, guys and girls, that's it for this update. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments what you think of these albums. And thank you for watching. Stay true, stay heavy. Until next time, bye for now.